Welcome to TLC 10 Life Community Podcast, where we dive into the heart of our local community. It's wineries, restaurant, business, and real estate. I'm Troy Anderson, along with my co-host Pamela, and we're here to bring you a new perspective on what's happening in our community. This week we have a returning guest that we're excited about. Isaac Schmid, owner of and winemaker of Synne Cellars. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
It's great. Glad you're here in my space.
Yes, we are doing this
cool.
Remote. It's a little
know,
bit different
we're
this
on
time.
the road.
Yeah, we're on the road. We took the show on the road.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Excited about that.
yeah. Do we want to just dig into our usual spot of...
We usually open a nice bottle of wine
I know.
and talk
well,
about it.
We
and
just so happen to be at Synne Cellars' new space, so I'm assuming there's wine.
Yes, absolutely. I have wine.
This is a great transformation. I'm sure we'll get into it, but just to give our listeners kind of a foreshadow of what we're going to talk about and stuff, Isaac's taken over the basement of the Hollywood Schoolhouse, where there used to be a previous winery in here, and he's really brightened it up, and the space has got a real good vibe. When I first walked in here, it's like, oh, this is totally transformed.
Yeah.
Totally worth checking out.
It turned out really nice.
Yes, it looks nice.
Right, well, before we dig into all of that
Yeah, sorry.
fun stuff,
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Isaac has wine on the table for us, which I'm super excited about. So rather than me saying what it is, Isaac, tell us what you've got for us to sample today and why you picked this wine for us.
So today I've got my 2022 Walla Walla Cabernet. This is kind of a sneak peek into our November release. So when's this podcast coming out? When's it going to air?
Yeah.
November, December time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so perfect timing then, I think. It's at 30 months. It aged 30 months in oak. It's about, I think it's 100% French oak with about 40% new French puncheon, which is the larger format barrels.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Those are what, 50 liters?
500 liters.
500 liters.
Yeah, it's a 500 liter puncheon. It's 132 gallons.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just over twice the size of a normal, or what most people would consider a normal sized barrel in a winery.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what's the name of this one?
This one is called Superiority Complex
I love
Cabernet. Yep.
One thing I so enjoy about you and your wine is the names that you come up with for them is just great. I love it. So Superiority Complex. All right. So why did you pick this one?
So the name?
No, this wine.
Why did I choose it? I thought it was relevant for when the timing seemed to work out for when this was probably going to air, and I'm personally really excited about it. I think the aromatics are solid. I think that the mouthfeel is there. I'm fully in love with all of my 2022 vintages. So
well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's fully in love with them. I think that there's some previous years that have been a little bit rough just because of environmental conditions. But man, everything that happened in 2022 was just magical.
I've never had anything bad here, so I think you're
Well, I'm also hypercritical of my own stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
Do we get to try it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Here,
perfect. We'll let you pour. So
Hint.
move
yes.
this to the side so I'm not
I can do it if you
breathing
want.
heavy into it.
Okay.
So
I got
Isaac's
it.
going to pour us a little taster of his 2020 Superiority Complex. We're going to, as usual, kind of
How big of a taste
take
you want?
just a small one for me. I still have work to do. We're going to, kind of try and describe the bouquet and the flavors that we feel and taste in this. Obviously, usually I think everybody's different when they come to what the flavor profiles are on a wine. Sometimes we are all on the same page, and other times we're way off. So I always find this part of the conversation very fascinating. Troy's got his nose in the glass already. He's making exciting noises for this wine. It has a really robust color to the glass. Before we even start, Troy's swirling, the legs on there look good. I'm just waiting for somebody else to take a swirl, take a sip.
I haven't tasted it yet, but it's got
You know how much I love dead air.
Yeah, sorry. When you can smell it on the way in.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty good sign
I don't
usually.
have this glass anywhere near my nose. It's near my microphone, and I can smell it from here.
Yeah.
It's like blackberry, raspberry, currant,
Yeah, it just
cherry
has this
bliss.
real depth, and I don't know that I've ever had a wine. I could smell it from this distance. I've never had that before.
It's a cool thing when it happens.
Okay.
The notes that I got on it is dark cherry, black currant, a little bit of plum, like Italian or dark plum somewhere. I had plum. My parents' house that we grew up in had those Italian plum trees on the property, so we had a lot of those as kids. I also got like maybe a little bit of mint around the edges, and then also maybe some roasted coffee sort of aromas coming. That would be from some of the French oak for sure.
It's definitely got a coffee or tobacco-ish finish. I don't know if that's quite right, but
Could be.
yeah. Leather.
Leather.
There you go.
I never understand that one, but I'll take your word for it. I completely see what you're saying about the cherry. When I put my nose inside the glass and had a really deep kind of intake of air, right on the finish you get that real kind of cherry sweet bouquet, which I thoroughly enjoy when it comes to wine. This wine on the tongue is so smooth.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
It's
soft tan.
silky. It's not super dry. Yeah. I see what you're saying about the coffee. I don't know where the leather comes from.
It's on the finish. It has really soft tannins, and then it just kind of dries your mouth out just enough. That's
Yeah,
good.
I get it. It's like a little like a little tang. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, the little bit of leather right on the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got you.
There's lots of mouth
Gotcha.
noises going
Yeah,
on in
yeah,
the microphone here. That is absolutely divine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been disappointed with one of your wines, Isaac. I mean, that is amazing.
Thank you.
Really, really
Thank you.
delicious. I mean, obviously you knew we were coming, so the bottle's been open for a little bit, so it's had time to breathe.
I did open it. It is a little bit tight. It's been in bottle for about 8-9 months. I bottled it in February or so. And so it's been in bottle, and it's just been, kind of relaxing, I guess, since then. But, right as soon as you pop the cork, it is a bit tight. So yeah, I did open it up. And if anybody ends up coming in to purchase one of these and opens it sooner than later, I would absolutely recommend decanting.
Okay.
Clearly, it's delicious right now, but I think that this will also age very, very, very well.
Right.
I've still got fruit on the front of my palate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
No,
That's really good.
that's what people would call a finish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I would say the name, it's on point. Superiority complex. This wine definitely has it. Well done, Isaac.
It's
well
it's
done.
approachable though. It's not pretentious.
It's not snobby at
No.
all.
No.
It's one of those wines where I would go fantastic with any food, but you could quite happily drink it on a Tuesday, as Troy likes to say.
Yeah.
Right?
Tuesday recording a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
What
know-
are the perks of the job?
You said something earlier. You said it was just really smooth and the tannin were there, and I wanted just to mention that I think that comes from Walla Walla. I've always thought that there's like a richness in fruit and the richness in like depth that you get from, or richness in texture, maybe is a better way to say that you get in Walla Walla that many other areas in Washington State I don't think have to the degree
Like
in which
even
they're
Red
consistent. Red Mountain has really, really wonderful tannin. Sometimes it's a bit too much for me, but I think that there's many. I don't want to bag on Red Mountain,
No,
right?
no,
Like,
no, I mean-
I think that a lot of Red Mountain fruit can be a little bit overly tannic,
Okay.
just for my personal taste. Some people like that slap in the face, but I prefer maybe something a bit more balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more. But do you think Walla Walla is a little warmer? Or what do you think contributes to that?
I think that there's a lot of
Soils are
things.
different?
I think the soils are a bit different.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the soils, the climate is probably a little bit warmer, but I do think it's also there's less. I think there's less temperature variation. I could be wrong about that, but I mean I've been
It's
buying
farther
fruit
away
for-
from the Columbia, so it doesn't get that influx of.
Yeah, and higher elevation fruit like Red Mountain or like Natchez Heights or Elephant Mountain, they tend to have a little bit, it's slightly cooler growing season, but I don't buy any fruit from Red Mountain, so I can't really speak to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Yeah,
Right
for
on.
sure.
Really good.
Thank
Okay, well, we're going to continue to enjoy our glasses of this amazing wine by Synne Cellars. We're going to take a really quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to dive into all that's new with Isaac and his new tasting room. So stay tuned. We will be right back after this very short break.
Welcome back to TLC, 10 Life Community Podcast, and we're going to dive into all things Synne Cellars with Isaac, winemaker and owner. And so, welcome back. Since our last visit, you have opened a new tasting room in the Hollywood Schoolhouse area, where we're recording today, which is a new adventure for us. So, what motivated the move? Space, ambiance, community, something else?
You know, the warehouse park where I've been making the wine, and I had a small tasting room there, has been a great place to incubate and kind of figure out who and what I wanted to be in the wine community, which has been amazing. However, now I've got my wines to a point where I think I know what it is, and I just wanted a broader audience, or maybe just a bit more exposure to share my story a bit.
Space is amazing, like I alluded earlier, but yeah, it's just it's a huge transformation from what it was before, and so I would invite people who've been over here to come on back and experience this new adventure.
Absolutely, because I know
thank you.
your last space was somewhat smaller for the tasting room area, so I'm sure that was kind of limiting for you. So having this space for you to do all things that are Synne Cellars must be an exciting prospect for you.
Absolutely, yeah. The stuff that we're going to be able to do here, the events, maybe some of the educational pieces, maybe the live music.
Perfect.
I'll be able to have wine dinners here and
Nice.
stuff like that. It's going to be really cool.
Okay, so before we get into all of these new adventures that are going to come with this new space, let's talk about how designing and opening this new space has maybe influenced your creative energy. Because I think sometimes when people you're in one area, when you move into something maybe that's very different from where you were before, it can influence lots of things, right? So whether those influences are in your winemaking, the events that you're planning, the guest experiences, are there any wines or labels you see reflected in the next phase of Synne Cellars based on this move? I know that's a lot of components in that question, so I can break them down again if you want. So let's break it down. So how has this space influenced your creativity, and how do you see that moving forward?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely expanded it's definitely expanded what we thought was possible. I guess the amount of things that we can now do, like we just mentioned, the events, the live music, just thinking about how we can have a bit more fun with the space. When it comes to wines, I think that the volume of people that are going to come in, or the amount of people that we can service and have come through the door, is eventually going to I don't know, maybe demand isn't the right word, but they're going to want more varietals. They're going to want more different types of wines, maybe some blends. And for me, I mean, I really, really do enjoy making wine. I love it. And so to be able to play with different varietals and make a few different wines is going to be super fun for me.
Okay.
And we also changed, I don't know if you have seen it or saw it on the door, but we also did change our logo up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we removed the circle from around the S and kind of included that in the sun here.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So the creative process of changing things has already started by moving into this. So what's that guest experience going to be like when they walk through the door here? It's going to be very different, I'm assuming, from your last space. So kind of talk us through that just a little bit.
So we have a bit more, there's more structure. I mean, we were kind of played a little bit fast and loose out there in the warehouse park. It was fun. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a good time, but we have a little bit more structure with our wine tastings. We've got a red flight, a white flight, and kind of a mixture of the two if you want to kind of experience a little bit of everything that we do here and kind of what the quality and consistency is like, right?
Yeah.
And then with the space itself, it's comfortable, it's elegant, it's not your grandma's room that you never go into. It's not like that nice.
I like that now.
But right? Yeah, it's I think the vibe that we're kind of going for is sort of like a Ralph Lauren-y sort of like Mobland which is a great
Okay.
show, by the way.
Yeah.
The Mobland kind of vibe,
Yeah.
and like, or maybe of a curated look.
It has, being the Brit in the room, it has a little bit of that upscale pub vibe to it, and I mean
With
the
the
country
high
pub
wingback chairs.
with the with high wingback chairs, and maybe
Yeah.
there's a roaring fire, and it's kind of exclusive, but it's cozy, and inviting, but it has an element of elevation and sophistication to it that
Yeah.
I really enjoy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So okay, all right, I like that. So I think a great experience for everybody. But I want to talk about something that's actually we talked in depth about the last time you were on the show, and this one's actually super important to me because I love wine, but unfortunately it doesn't love me back. So last time we talked about how Synne Cellars was focused on inclusivity for wine lovers, right? And
Sure.
for those that are sensitive to things like sulfites and histamines, sorry. And I think like I said, that's important. That's some of the reasons why you went the direction you did with your winemaking process, right? Was to kind of eliminate some of that. But since then, how have you refined or evolved your process? Are there any new insights, techniques, or breakthroughs that you've discovered that make your wines even more approachable? I don't know if they can get much more approachable on a taste scale, but from that other angle.
The fundamental, like my criteria for making the wines and the process has mostly stayed the same. So I've played with a couple different kinds of yeast strains that have similar properties to the ones I've historically been using. And so far I've had some pretty good success with it. But I think the most valuable piece is, for me over the last couple of years, has been, being on stage, not literally, but being on stage in the tasting room and really working on refining how I articulate what I do, why it matters, and why it's impactful to people. I think that when we last talked, I was probably a little bit more scattered, and I think now I've got some pretty great ways to describe it.
Go ahead.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
give people a
Yeah.
recap. If they're
Refresh
if they're
us.
new to the podcast, then that's great. And if they've listened to you before, let's give them a refresh.
Okay, so when it comes to environment, I'm not a doctor, but when it comes, from what I've learned, I've been researching this since 2018 or so, and when it comes to environmental sensitivities, it seems like that our bodies, with our bodies, it's a load issue, right? So the first way I'll describe it is like an electrical circuit. So you can plug in the toaster, the microwave, the refrigerator, but as soon as you plug in the hairdryer, the circuit breaker pops, right?
Yeah.
Most of us have probably experienced something like that. And the how that translates is the like the hive or the headache or the migraine or the gut problem or whatever. That's the circuit breaker popping. The next best way I can use to describe what happens is, you get a list of things from your allergist maybe that you're sensitive to, and you shouldn't do it. But you go and you wake up in the morning, you walk your dog through grasses and trees. Then you go over to your friend's house who has a cat. Then you go to a restaurant and eat processed food that's cooked in margarine, like bad oils,
Yep.
whatever.
Tons
and then you go wine tasting with your friends, and you're like, you get the flush face or the headache, and you're like, oh, it's always the wine. But you can see in that story right there through that lens, it's not super fair on the wine in that moment, right? Because your body just kind of hit that load limit where you're like, okay, now it's having a freak out. So that being said, what the best way, I'm going to get a prop here for my own self. I apologize. There it is, so I don't leave anything out.
Well, and I think this is super unique to winemaking, and I think people need to know that very few people do this.
Yeah, nobody does this,
Yeah.
or at least
I was
You
going
know-
to say nobody, but
I think that accidentally it happens. Just because a biological process can happen doesn't mean it will, and vice versa, right?
but you force it.
But I do it intentionally.
Yeah.
I do these steps with all of my wines intentionally, which is why I think some of the allergic type symptoms or the reactions to whites and reds I've heard is such a moving target that it's just really tough to know which winery or which wine, or to be able to pinpoint it. It's kind of impossible unless you do something like what I've done. And I think the natural, the sulfite free movement has their head and heart in the right places, but unfortunately I don't think that they've thought it through super well. Like, I think that most of nature really wants to kill you, And like
Happy
we don't go happy thoughts, but we don't go out into the wild and eat whatever we see that's green or red, right? Like it's just for good reason. So what I've done is, I guess, kind of create an elimination protocol for winemaking for things that can be inflammatory in the wine. Other than the alcohol, of course. It's like I was already on that trajectory, I was already on that path, so that got to stay in there. But I think that all the other stuff that can be inflammatory in the wine sometimes does creep in there. And it's I think that there's a lot of winemaking that has sort of drifted in some ways that it's less pure than it once was, and I'm trying to kind of bring that back to at least my style of winemaking. I've had really, really good success with it, but I will try to be as fast as I can with this. Unfortunately, this it does take a little bit of explaining to get people to get it, right? So first things I do, I choose vineyards that don't use glyphosate or Roundup. The compound glyphosate is horribly toxic in humans. It's not super good for you. If you want to research it, PubMed has a bunch of research at this point, but the short list is that it affects neuronal growth, it affects mitochondrial function, it's genotoxic, means it affects your DNA. And that's, like I said, the short list. So the napkin math on that one is that if you're not operating metabolically on the best level you possibly can, you might be less able to fight off pathogens, right? That's just
Sure, makes sense.
Easy,
Yeah.
right? The next thing that I do is I use two different kinds of yeast strains. One, non-Saccharomyces yeast, to mitigate fungal bacteria in the must stage. That's when we get the grapes and we smash them all, it turns into a big slurry, and all the sugar's exposed. Whatever population of bacteria or yeast or mold or whatever is in there essentially gets to have a party. And it's largely unquantified by wineries, so the traditional thinking is you throw some sulfites at it and hope that it sticks, right? And that whatever's in there becomes, dies or benign. So I go right into this pre-ferment yeast, and I don't cold soak, I don't add sulfites. I just go right in and let these yeasts kind of get after it. And the pre-ferment yeast is really good at outpopulating fungal bacteria in the must stage, which is important for mold growth, spores, and eventually mycotoxin production. Overtoxin is the one that gets produced. It's a compound that I can't filter out at the end. And then my primary fermentation yeast, which is cultured by the same lab, is just super robust. The first one that will only go to about 6% alcohol, so eventually it gets outpopulated by my primary ferment yeast, and the primary takes over, and it just goes crazy, and really gets the job done. So both of these yeasts were also cultured because they produce 0 to very low levels of histamine. So it's kind of like a 1-2 punch in an early stage of the wine's creation, so I can mitigate mold and mycotoxin production and or occurrence and histamine occurrence, which is really super cool. The next thing is all the wines are vegan. I don't use animal products for fining. I don't add sugar back, which I think that we have enough sugar in our diets just from whatever products are out there. There's some wineries that add small amounts of sugar back. It helps make the fruit pop a little bit better. Like it's kind of like adding salt to a dish. Like you don't want to taste the salt, but it's there and it enhances in some ways. So that's kind of the thinking with that. But yeah, there's some wineries that add sugar back. I use very low levels of sulfites. 35 to 50 parts per million is kind of like the bare minimum of what's needed for some decent aging ability, I think. And the other thing is additives. There's over 70 different compounds that winemakers have in a toolkit to augment mouthfeel, flavor, color, texture, and aroma. And I don't choose
Those
to
aren't
use
listed
them.
on the back of any of these wines.
They don't need to be. They're all generally regarded as safe, GRAS,
Sure.
and they don't need to be. The issue with the additives, I don't think they're all dangerous, but once you start compounding them, like they only ever go through, to my knowledge, single dose toxicity tests, which means they don't get tested with histamines, with glyphosate, with other augmenting compounds. So let's say you have an unmitigated wine, and then you throw a bunch of other stuff at it. You might have a cocktail for a reaction. That's just, so eliminate. Don't add it in. Let the wine be what it is. Just making sure I don't leave anything out here. I do have a really nice, fancy medical grade wine filters. It filters down to 0.2 microns. Now, there's a lot of things in the world that are larger than 0.2 microns, but the list of relevant things, I think, when it comes to wine is bacterias, and molds and spores are considered bacterias. They're a 0.3 and higher, so this is like the ultimate bug catcher. In addition to those things, it filters out pollens, it filters out insecticide dusts. So those are, also, it sets someone off. It filters out wood burnt particles, which is relevant because of forest fires. So little bits of ash can precipitate out of the air and like potentially land on, like you might not ever even know it, but like it does filter that stuff out. It filters out dust mites was important for my mom. She's allergic to dust mites, so I threw that one on there.
Okay.
And there's, in a nutshell, that's the width and breadth of what I do for the wines. And like I said, I've had some pretty good anecdotal feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my wines still win awards and they win medals.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
love
great.
The science
I
behind
yeah.
it. I don't really understand a lot of it, but the fact that you go into so much detail of like why you're doing things and how you're doing them and what differentiates you between somebody else, I think is super cool.
Yeah, thank you.
It just seems great to start at the beginning. I mean, if you launch a rocket and it's off by a percentage, it's going to be way off by the time it gets into the glass, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we think about it, wine's been around for thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
They didn't put all of this stuff in it when they first started
No.
making it. So
No.
you're kind of not going back to the basics or the roots, but trying to get as close to it as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Taking us behind the scenes quite a bit. What are you currently working on the cellar? In the cellar, any new varietals, blends?
Oh man,
Collaborations.
we're gonna have I've got a Grenache, a 2023 Grenache that's gonna be
Okay.
bottled next year that I'm super pumped about. And about a year and a half ago in March, sure, I'll have a little bit more.
These two are really tucking into the wine over there.
It's really good.
It's afternoon.
It is afternoon. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Correct.
And I mean, it is fabulous wine. I can't say
you.
enough good things about it. But yeah, I love the way Troy just pours you and him another glass.
Get after, brother. I appreciate it. Cheers.
I just thought I was at the studio, right?
You are in the studio.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Yeah,
Cheers,
we've got
yeah.
to do that. Cheers. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
You're
Right.
welcome.
Back to the
Back to the
details. Let's talk about
details.
what's
So-
going on.
About a year and a half ago, Nova and I we had a trip to Italy, and we flew into Rome and drove up the middle, and we ended up, driving from Montepulciano to Montalcino, and we did that pretty little drive, the Val d'Orcia drive, and basically goes from Montepulciano to Siena, I think. And along the way, we stopped in Montalcino, and we got to taste. They had a huge enomatic system, and there's hundreds of wines, so you can just put a little card in and get a little sip, right? And we tasted a bunch of Brunello de Montalcinos, and there's more than a handful of them, and we're looking at each other like, this is gonna be expensive. Sent back a case of wine from that little wine shop that was open, but at one point she looks at me and she's like, "Can you make this?" It's like, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
So in 2024, I got some really great Sangiovese
Okay.
from Elephant Mountain, from the north edge of Rattlesnake Hills, and it's just I tasted a little bit last night. I was in the winery and doing punch down and some ads and stuff, and I was just like, God, this is so good. And I brought a little bit home for Nova, and she's looking at me like, this is probably going to sell pretty well. I'm like, okay, cool.
I
That's
love
good.
that your travels have inspired you to create
Yeah.
something.
I heard a really great quote one time. Let's see if I don't mess it up. Travel is research for living, not a reward for work.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that
I
too.
haven't heard that before. That's a great way to live.
Yeah,
For sure.
and it that's how it worked out for me too.
Nice.
Yeah, anytime I travel, I've always, my mind's been expanded for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend it.
All right. So that's the Grenache. Anything else?
Grenache and Sangiovese.
And Sangiovese.
Sangiovese, yes. Yeah,
Alright.
those are the ones that I've got
So
coming.
wine lover should be watching out for that then.
Yeah, I got a Cab Franc that's on its way too. I also started doing making a bit more Cabernet Franc in 2024. So we should be seeing some single varietal. I mean, everybody's got a Cab Franc, but I feel like
I like Cab Franc.
I've been late to the party on Cab Franc.
Yeah, I
For a
think it's
particular
kind of
reason?
it's kind of dirty and
Yeah.
Is that your Forest
or
4?
Yeah, Forest 4. That's it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Sometimes I wish you guys would use different vernacular. I'm like, oh, that sound appealing.
The best one is vegetal.
A vegetal. Yeah. I don't like a vegetal taste too much,
Yeah.
but
Does it taste like broccoli?
I like broccoli, but
Not in your wine?
not in my wine glass.
Yeah.
So you've got a release coming up, right? So what are you pouring at the new release here at this new space?
It's going to be, so the release is coming up in, and we're going to have a club party and everything
Okay.
on November 22nd.
Okay.
And we're going to be releasing
Just
the
in time for
2022. It's the plan.
Yeah.
The 2022 Cabernet Sauvignon and the 2022 Merlot, both from Walla Walla.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm in love with them. They're both really great.
Okay, everybody mark that on your calendars.
Yep.
and
Oh,
then
live band.
Get in.
Got to give Big Earl Band a plug too.
Okay.
So if you
Well,
like him, come out, or like them. It's like a 7-piece blues band. It's gonna be
okay.
awesome.
So do people have to be a member in order to
So-
get on the release?
To show up, no,
Okay.
but yes, to get the release, yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
just want everybody to get ahead of the game
Well, I
and
think you
come
just
in
need to
and
come out and taste and then
Yes.
join the club. And
exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
going for here.
Appreciate the
Absolutely.
club plug there, buddy.
that's where the good benefits are.
Yeah, we do have some pretty cool benefits too.
Yeah.
You want to share what those are?
You know, you get, I mean, some of the normal things you get 15 to 20% off. So that's kind of a normal thing. You get advance notice on club releases, parties, tickets. Like this last year, we did an 8-year vertical on
Oh,
Tempranillo.
that's fun.
Oh yeah, it was super cool. So going back to 2016, I didn't have a 2017 vintage. Like I just drank or sold all of that one. But
I like how you say drank.
I know.
yeah, drank or sold. I didn't
drank
like.
it.
I kind of overdid it with Tempranillo in 2016. I bought like 3 tons, and so I only bought
Okay.
a ton in 2017. But pardon me. So that we didn't have that one, but we did 2016, 18, 19, 20, and 21 in bottle, and then 22 and 23 in barrel.
Oh,
so
fun.
it was like a vertical plus barrel tasting, and so advanced invites to stuff like that. It was really, really cool.
That is cool.
The other thing that we have is we do have a short-term rental in Leavenworth. It's like 5 minutes from Dan's Market, if you know where that is, and it's on 4 acres, so it kind of still feels like you're out there a bit, but it's close enough to town, so if you want to run in, it's pretty good. So club members also get a discount on
Wow,
that
that's
place.
a big perk.
Yeah, it's different than a lot of the
Yeah.
other places that
I was just going
have
to say,
one
you're
clubs.
getting ready to sign up, Troy.
Just twisted my arm.
It's a 2,500 square foot house. It's
Oh,
got,
wow,
It's got
big.
four bedrooms. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
It's got 4 bedrooms, 2 kings upstairs, 2 queens downstairs. And
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Wow.
can fit 10 people.
So good for couples and kids.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I've-
it's a lot
Two
of fun.
couples and 2 kids.
Yeah, not heard of that from a winery before. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, I know there probably is, but the fact that you offer that as part of the membership, I think is fabulous.
Yeah.
All
It's
right, so let's talk about wine stories. I mean, every bottle, has a journey. Is there one wine in your current lineup that carries a personal story? Maybe it's tied to a challenge, a milestone, or even a happy accident that you haven't shared before.
Oh, God.
Just to put you on the spot there.
I would say the Del Toro Tempranillo is probably the most surprising.
Okay.
It has been, even the label, down to the label. I tried to do, I put my classic label on a few vintages of the Tempranillo, and I started getting feedback like, oh, where's the Del Toro label? Where's the Del Toro label? And it's just a simple white label that has my red. It's kind of like the corona on a sun, or the plasma ring around like solar eclipse is kind of like, if I'm describing it, and it says Del Toro in big, Roman-looking letters on it. And I just got a lot of feedback on that. And it's like, hey, where'd that label go? We love that. We love that label. And the wine itself, I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but the wine itself turned out great. And part of that, I'm going to say, it's the fruit that I'm getting. It's from Natchez Heights, 1,500 feet in elevation, and I just think that particular Tempranillo just thrives up there. And at this point, it's a fully mature vineyard, and it's been a really, really wonderful surprise. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so.
All right, so that's kind of a milestone one for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I never would have expected that. When I started my journey in Washington wines, is back in 2002, I guess. Not winemaking, just like starting to taste wine and appreciate it. We were mostly a Bordeaux sort of community. We did mostly Cabs, Merlots, or Bordeaux style blends, and with some Syrah thrown in there, and that was kind of it. And like between the late 90s, the vintages that were available in 2000, 2001, 2002, etc. That's kind of what was coming out, and then so it's surprising.
Okay.
Washington does a really good Tempranillo.
I think we do.
Yeah.
Early days, but when the fruit was still it was planted. I think it was planted at Red Willow Vineyard back in '96, and I think Mike Sauer said that he ripped it out because nobody wanted it. And then it was replanted in various places around Yakima Valley in Washington. And the first few vintages that were made from it, I think it was it just wasn't balanced super well, or it was weird, or somebody put too much oak on it. Tempranillo, surprisingly, it uptakes and expresses oak way different than Cabernet. Cabernet just sucks up front and new oak. You'd never know it was there, but Tempranillo is a bit different. And
More temperamental.
temperamental Tempranillo. It's so I think my point is that I think Tempranillo within the last 5 to 10 years has really come into its own in Washington State, and these Spanish varietals that we're seeing come out are really, really doing well. I think they're really shining.
That's awesome.
I must admit, I'd never heard of Tempranillo before we tried it with you the first time you were on the show.
Yeah.
And I still remember it, just how well balanced it was, and it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
You've had Rioja though before, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
So Tempranillo is a dominant grape in Rioja.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I've lived here long enough, but
Sure.
yeah. I'm sure maybe I had it in Barcelona, who knows.
Probably.
On the street, while you're having your tapas.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly.
So you're Isaac, rooted here in the community, the Woodinville wine community, and so how has being part of that scene shaped Synne Cellars' journey? Do you have any local partnerships or collaborations that have been meaningful?
The last time that I was on your show, I don't think that I had the mobile filtration business that I have. So we have a peripheral business. Okay. That's called Northwest Wine Process. And we do a little bit of custom crush, which means we crush some other wineries' grapes if they need that service, and we also do some press work as well for them every year. I've got a pretty decent press now, and I think it'll crush 2 to 3 tons whole cluster, and 5 to 6 tons fermented red, which is amazing. I had a tiny little press before that just was tedious when you're doing multiple loads. It was long hours. And this one's a bit better, but we do a little bit of that, and then we've been taking the wine filter that I mentioned earlier around to about 40 different wineries in the area.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really valuable, and pardon me, it just creates some stability or biological stability. Like if you're putting a bottle of wine on a grocery shelf or something like that, if you're doing a lot of something, like the way that a lot of winemakers look at it is it's a liability thing. It's a thing that they will never have to think about, because it creates what we would call a sterile filtration by removing the bacteria and stuff. So those relationships that I've built with that business have been extraordinary. They've been amazing. Like it's I could name a few, but then I'd leave a few out, so I don't want to do that. But it's really a top-notch cast of characters. They're all really super cool, and I feel very blessed that I'm the guy that gets to go in and do that for them.
I think that's one thing that we've really noticed about the wine community here, is they're all very much about helping each other. Whereas you think that wouldn't be the case, because there are so many wineries here, but everybody we speak to is just like, oh yeah, so-and-so helps us out with this, and just this collaboration and want to help each other. and, you know, being able to extend your business with some other part and helping other people create wine, I think is great.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So as you expand, how do you balance staying true to your original mission while reaching new customers? And then how do you help your guests understand what makes your wines unique, whether that's through your tasting, your education, or your creative storytelling? Now, we know that you have your list of, you know, that we've gone through today, but what else do you offer so that, you know, people can differentiate you between other people? And yeah, and really, how do you get that across to people?
That was more than one question.
Okay, let me break it down. Sorry. Okay, let's start with how do you balance staying true to your original mission while reaching new customers? Let's go there first.
All right. You know, I've struggled with this. I'll be honest. I've been a one guy show,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I'm the guy I'm the winemaker. I'm the guy that's doing the work. And I know that at some point I'm going to have to transition out of that, and it's a bit scary to have to, you know, think about
To delegate?
to get
Yes,
yeah,
I
to delegate
understand.
that stuff. Yeah. It's a little bit scary to
It's
think
your
about that.
baby,
And like,
yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's very important for me to always have my, you know, have my hands in it, you know, to some degree, and to provide direction. I'm not there yet. I'm still the guy that's doing it. And then, you know, with the tasting room, we haven't done a lot of messaging or marketing for this place just yet, and Nova and I are working on that. But when we do, like already with the organic foot traffic that we've seen, it's really promising, and it's almost to a point where we can staff up and just kind of like, not set it and forget it, but it can be a machine that kind of runs, and you know, her and I will be able to step away and kind of oversee the stuff. Also scary because we haven't done this before, but yeah, that's. I think that to directly answer your question, just kind of like make sure that we stay grounded, make sure we have, you know, our hands in it still a little bit here and there. Neither one of us really want to be absent.
Well, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
All right, so how are you going to help your guests understand what makes your wine unique? I mean, you're doing that on the podcast here, but as people come into the tasting room, as they find you with that foot traffic, or they find you through whatever social media channels that you're doing.
So when they come in, specifically when they come into the winery?
Well, just, you know,
or-
how do you get guests as they're coming in to understand?
It's, you know, it's years,
tasting the wine.
15 years of tasting the wine, obviously, like choose your wine flight, you know, and having, you know, appropriate level of service. And, you know, I was about to say, like 15 years of being in the restaurant industry, you kind of get to learn to read the guests, and who they are, and kind of what their unspoken expectations are as they walk through the door. And, you know, there's couples or, you know, groups of individuals that you can tell they just kind of want to chat with themselves. And then there's, you know, couples that are on a date maybe, and they're going to want like a lower level of service or presence from me or my staff. And then, you know, then there's another group that are like, oh, tell us your story, and they want to be fully immersed in what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we're doing it, and they want to go on the newsletter list and be invited to participate in Harvest and Crush and stuff. So I think that it's really just kind of being aware of who needs what and when, and, you know, asking good questions.
Okay. I appreciate that, because not everybody, you know, they say not everybody is wanting the in-depth knowledge about the wine. They just want to enjoy it and enjoy the ambiance. But you are
Sure.
able to kind of figure out, okay, who wants that little bit of extra knowledge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
That's great. So, you know, what excites you? What gets you up in the morning? You know, is there anything you're looking forward to? And I mean, I think you spoke off air about this a little bit, but how your outdoor patio, we can have live music in the summer, and it's a huge space, and you know, I mean, just are there any new things that you're excited about
You know,
besides this tasting room?
Besides the tasting room, like I said before, man, the Sangiovese is just off the chains.
Okay.
I'm really excited about that. What gets me up in the morning is that I get to wake up in the morning and do what I want.
That's awesome.
I get to do what I choose to do, and that I can't say it in other words. I just feel super blessed that I get to do that. That's really great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You can taste it in the wine. So, all right. Well, I think we
Okay,
covered a
yeah,
lot of things.
I think so. You talked about music out there. I did
Yeah.
see something on social media the other day about food carts and things. So you're trying to bring that kind of element into like the outside spaces.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are working towards some partnerships with some nearby restaurants
Okay.
to try to get some food in. We don't currently have food available, but if you want to bring something in, and like the bistro across the parking lot is awesome. Like Frank's Bistro is great. The kitchen at Mary Hill, those guys do a great job. And Brie across the street at Heritage, she's also amazing. And those are some of the places that I would highly recommend if we have guests that come in and want something to snack on. But we're working on getting some food truck. Food trucks are difficult logistically because they're out in the parking lot, and our doors are like here, like you have to walk kind of too far. So if there's like food cart or like a pop-up tent or something like that would be, we could park outside of one of our doors or something, that would be great. Yeah, we're looking for that, especially for live events, and it'll be able to give us an opportunity to kind of mix up the types of food that we can offer, and just kind of make it interesting. The funny thing is like as we're reaching out to these food carts, is we've gotten like more than a couple responses like, how much does it cost? Like it's like we're like
It's a business opportunity, Isaac.
Yeah, I was like, I'm looking at Nova going, just tell them $20, like I don't care. We just want them here, right? Like
Yeah,
we're not
with no
we're not
minimums
with
and-
yeah, exactly. Like we post up. Like it's not a farmer's market. You're not paying for a booth spot or anything. Just come here and like you sell your empanadas. Sell your stuffs.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Little taco tent pop up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
smash burgers.
I was thinking about the smash burger guy. We had him for our client event over the summer, and he's just so unpretentious, and
Yeah.
it just was good. And
People raved about
smash
the
burgers go with wine, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about
Smash
bacon?
burgers and Cabernet.
What about the bacon
betcha.
wrapped hot dogs?
That goes with everything.
Okay.
That yep. I would do it.
Well, that's a
funny.
perfect segue. So I think we'd like to end our show with talking about maybe a hidden gem in the community, and restaurant, shop, could be a park, could be something else that you would want our listeners to know that you think is a hidden gem in our community.
Oh gosh, maybe it's just a super obvious, but if you haven't been to the Somme Hotel yet,
Oh,
please go. They did a really super nice job. We went there. We had a couple of their staff that would come in here periodically while it was being built out, and now we didn't get anything special from it, but they were just kind of excited and telling us about it. And so we went over there the first 2 nights that they were open, and sat in the lounge and had some snacks, had some dinner, and then the second night that we went there, we went up to the rooftop bar, and that rooftop bar is just off the chains. It's
really?
it's so cool. Like I don't know why exactly, but it reminded me of like a hotel rooftop bar that I had been in Costa Rica like 20 years ago.
really?
Yeah, just lots of natural wood. There was like kind of open air.
Okay.
And there was like a fire pit in the middle.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, it was like, there's a TV, so you could like have a group of your friends and watch a football game up there. And I have a feeling that rooftop is going to beautiful views of like everything. Like it's awesome.
It looks kind of southwest off.
It's
Over
around
the
the whole.
valley.
It's around the whole top.
Okay.
You can walk around the whole thing. So you can see. I think you could. I don't think the mountain was out, but I think you could see on a clear day Mount Rainier to the south, and then the Hollywood Schoolhouse to the north.
Looking right.
I was
Synne
like,
Cellars.
I remember I was walking around up there, and I was like,
Oh, there's
"Oh
my
my
son.
God, babe, look at this! It's like that's our tasting room. Look, you can see it." And of course, Nova's like, "We need a sign on the side of the building."
That's very cool. We'll look
Yeah.
forward to trying that out too.
So-
So yeah.
For sure.
A bit of an eclectic menu, but masterfully done. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
That sounds great, actually.
Love it.
I'm gonna throw one in too, since we're
It's
here.
your show. Go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if Frank's Bistro gets enough recognition. We love that place just across your parking lot here.
Everything we've had there has been
Oh
amazing.
yeah, the food is fantastic.
Yeah, that's
So whatever you can do to partner with them, that'd be great.
hidden gem
Gem,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I was there a couple of weeks ago for lunch with a friend, and
Yeah.
Troy very kindly sent over beignets. He wasn't there, but he sent them over to us because he likes it so much there, which was delicious. The food was fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Service is a little iffy.
Don't say
Oh.
that. It was not at all.
Sam and Brooke are awesome.
Salmon Brokers are all
Right.
there.
And you said
They're
that
really
to
good.
me before I even
I know,
left. You're
yeah.
like, make sure you say hello to them because they're fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All
Does
right.
Sam listen to the podcast?
I'm going to make him listen to this one.
Sam's great. He's been in here a couple times. Both
Yeah.
him and Brooke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Well, I'll be back for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's the end of our conversation. We could keep chatting for hours and hours. I'm sure we'll have you on again as next year when we can taste those varietals of, the new wines that you're bringing out. That'd be fantastic. I'm just inviting ourselves back
Cool.
to.
You're
That
absolutely.
work?
You want to do it here?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I'm in. In. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to take a really quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to jump in with our real estate roundup. And then before we close out the show, we'll get some more information from Isaac, like exactly where the tasting room is, what you can expect, and how we can get hold of you. So we'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to TLC, 10 Life Community Podcast. We're still enjoying this fantastic wine, but it's real estate roundup time. And
Oh.
I think I gave Troy the question maybe half an hour before
Yeah,
it came out.
what's
I didn't
going on
look at it. Are you ready anyway?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right. So we're going to keep it brief today, but let's talk about something that should concern every home buyer and seller in Washington State. If you're
Sounds
thinking,
ominous.
it could be ominous. It depends on whether you make the right decision or not, doesn't it?
Gotcha.
If you're thinking about buying or selling your home with your cousin, your friend, your boss, your butcher, your daughter's boyfriend, or you know somebody that is, then maybe tell them this, and then try. How many hours does a real estate agent need to become licensed?
90 clock hours of education, that's it. That's
Okay.
it, to become licensed here in the state of Washington. So,
Why is that? Why could that be a problem?
well, let's just think about it for a minute. A massage therapist requires 500 hours of training. A hair designer, 1,400 hours to get licensed.
That's easy for you to say. How many glasses have you had?
I know, right? More wine, please. 1,600 hours.
For a cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist, yes, thanks Pam for saving me. Manicurist and nail technician requires 350 hours. So that's that's over 3 times more what a real estate agent.
Okay, so what's the big deal?
Well, if a massage therapist has a bad day, you might feel tense. If your nail tech does your nails wrong, it might look bad for a few days or weeks. But you can reshape them, But if your real estate agent makes a mistake, it could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your savings, your future. A lot of people have their nest egg in their home, so in the real estate, real qualifications isn't just the license; it's experience. It's about knowing, the market, understanding the nuances, the experience of going through a transaction and maybe experiencing something that had happened before, and hedging that bet, being proactive with things. That's what the experienced agent brings to the table. And so, I sometimes equate it to, no one wants to have a medical something or other go on with you. And so if you had, some sort of heart issue, you're not going to be negotiating with the heart surgeon on, how you're to get through. You're going to, you're probably not going to go with, the bottom of the barrel heart surgeon. You're going to want someone with professional accolades that has done that before, and several times before. So in real estate is, it's not a life or death situation, but it is a big investment. So you need to ask yourself, does that agent have the experience to back up that license? 90 hours of textbook that, quite honestly, I very seldom use what's in the textbook on a daily basis. It's more about negotiations. It's more about experience in navigating the transaction to avoid any pitfalls that come up.
Okay. So basically just remember that your future deserves more than just the minimum. So talking about minimums, how long have you been doing this? And I'm not going to work out the math of how many hours it is, but you can tell us how many years you've been doing this, Troy.
Well, we've done nearly 1,000 transactions, and we've done, I've been in the business for 26 years now. Been licensed for 20 of those. We started as an investor, so getting into properties and fixing them up and fixing and flipping and in the rental market. So that's the background I come with, kind of, looking at your investment as just that, an investment. And it's very important to me to make sure that the outcome is perfect for you.
Great. Well, if there's somebody listening who wants to do the math for me, that'd be great. I don't want to work out how many
What's the
hours
math?
that is. The math on how many hours that is.
Oh my gosh, what is that? For real estate's 80 hours a week times
Well,
52 weeks.
yeah, my math skills don't go that far. Somebody else can work it
I'm
out
just
for me.
teasing. Yeah, I don't know how many hours it is either, but definitely seen a thing or two in real estate, and know how to navigate around any pitfalls.
Yeah. I mean, the point of that question was really just to make sure that anybody that is thinking about buying or selling, really evaluate who you're going to have in your corner for this your financial future, because who you hire matters.
Who you hire matters, and when you don't know what you don't know until it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so if somebody wants to get hold of you and pick that big brain of yours, how do they get hold of you?
10hometeam.com, or you can call or text 206-504-3660.
All right, now I'm going to kick it back over to Isaac. We
All
love
right.
the space. Thank
Yes.
you so much for allowing us to come in here, record, and drink your beautiful wine. How can people find you? Give us the location, address, anything that's pertinent so everybody can come and try.
All right, so start with the address. It's 14810 Northeast 145th Street in Woodinville. That's and the zip code's 98072. www.synnecellars.com. You can click on Visit Us, and or Contact, I think, has both of those pages on our website have links with maps that you can go right into a Google map and get you here.
You're in the big Hollywood schoolhouse at the roundabout.
Can't miss
I know,
it.
it's crazy. It's so
This is
crazy.
awesome.
When we saw this lease come available,
Yeah.
we almost couldn't believe it. We were like, and we love the previous winery. They've been
Yeah.
that was here before, and they've been pillars in Washington State forever. Like
Sure.
I've sold their wines, over the years for 15 years in restaurants.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, it was crazy. We saw the lease come available, and we were like, oh my gosh, we love that space. It's like there's so much I think we can do with it, and so thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. It's still a little bit like pinch me and don't think it's real.
Well, our listeners need to come down and visit it,
Yeah,
for sure.
and if you can't get in and visit, I'm assuming they can buy wine online.
Of course, yeah.
Just want to make a plug
You
for
can
that.
join the club online. We've got two different club levels. It ships. It's either 6 bottles or 12 bottles. It ships 3 times a year, so it's either 18 or 36, I guess. And then you get the club benefits. There's different club benefits for each one, but yeah, you can sign up for those online. You can buy wine online. I can ship to 46 states or something.
Perfect.
That's right.
And then do you have, what's your social channels if you've got events coming up, people want to just follow you so they can be in the know? Or a newsletter?
So at Synne Cellars on Instagram, and it's just look for Synne Cellars. Synne Cellars or Synne Cellars and Synne Winery on Facebook.
Perfect.
That's SYNNE.
Yeah, that's very important to say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Norwegian word that means gift of the sun. It was
Oh.
originally it's pronounced
That's
sun.
why.
It's pronounced sunna, but you pretty much no American is going to intuitively say it that way. So, sin is actually closer than sign,
Gotcha.
which is the other thing. Is it sin or sign? And that's what I get usually. So,
Very good.
yeah, it's closer.
Okay. Well, as always, fascinating conversation. We appreciate
Very
the time.
enjoyable.
We appreciate the wine, everything about this. If you enjoyed the show, we'd like you to like and subscribe and share with everybody else. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms. And if you're watching on YouTube,
Ding the dinger.
all right. Till next time, people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.